Hey family, how you guys doing? Welcome to Phie.Love Intuitive Conversations. I hope you guys are good. If you like my content, please do like, share, and subscribe. And yeah, any negativity, please keep it on your side of the street. Won't be acknowledged, okay? So family, yeah, in this video, I've been guided by spirit to get into the topic on us paying a little bit more mind and being aware and taking some quiet insight time to really think about where we place our self-worth. What do we believe creates our self-worth? What is the undertone perspective? What is it that you operate out of unconsciously that tells you, okay, if A, B, C, D is in place, I feel more valuable to the world. I feel I am more valuable to the world. People will recognize me and see me as something that is worth having in their life. Not what you think makes you worth, or not what you think makes you worthy, okay? But what you think someone else thinks makes you worthy. What is the undertone programming? What is the undertone perspective? What are you unconsciously operating out of that fuels your decisions, fuels who you engage with, fuels what you decide you engage with, spend your money on, talk about, build around you? And when you think about it, is any of it actually based on who you are as a person without the external? Are you striving to build some kind of idea of self-worth for yourself that is focused around the job you have, what you look like, the degree you have, the kind of car you have, if you have a car at all, if you have a home, the kind of apartment you live in, the area you stay at, what you're able to buy, spend your money on? What about your life makes you think that you are worthy, makes you think that you have self-worth, makes you think that the outside world views you as somebody who is worth having around, somebody who is worth investing in, somebody who is, you know, fitting in with us? What is motivating you? If you wake up Monday to Friday in a job striving to pay off debt for things that you have bought, that you believed at some point would bring you happiness, bring you joy, bring you stability, bring you something that would make you feel, you know, more secure, apart, as if you're achieving, moving up in life, as you know, people like to say. Are any of those, when you think about it, are your thoughts at all focused around you as an individual, what you possess inside, how you show up to the world? What about you makes you worthy within yourself? Not what about the outside, what about the house, what about the car, what about the dogs, what about the bedding, what about the area you live in, what about you, you know, what about whatever it is that you look like as yourself and, you know, your family to the world. What about the internal? Not the external. What about the internal? Do you pay attention to? Do you recognize? Do you cultivate? Do you nurture? Do you allow? What about you inside? Do you allow to make you feel like you are worthy and you are worth something, that you are something that should be appreciated, something that should be invested in? What about you holds value that you don't require the outside world to recognize and point out within you? You're valuable, you're good at this, you're talented, you're A, B, C, in order to feel like someone recognizes some sort of worth in you. What worth do you recognize within yourself? If the entire external world that you've built up for yourself, as a show to the world and as a kind of illusion to your own perspective, perception, psyche, or view of your world, if it's all taken away, if the car you have crashes today and you're unable to replace it, and the house you have disappears, and the job you have is no longer there, and the jewelry you buy and wear, and the makeup you use, and whatever else it might be, okay, that you engage in to solidify your idea of fitting in to the outside world, and creating an illusion of self-worth and belonging for yourself, because you believe this is how the world will accept you. This is how the world, has programmed you to believe that you are something, you are worth something, you are doing something with yourself, something with your life. If it all falls away, what are you? Who are you? What about you is there that exists inside you that you either recognize or you don't? Are you banking on to be and know that, what, hey, I'm worth something, regardless of A, B, and C on the outside of me? What about you do you appreciate? What about you do you recognize? What about you doesn't require the input from some kind of gesture, word, action, or something from the outside that your eyes need to see and your ears need to hear, to process in your mind that you're worthy, that you have value, that there are things within you that you've been given, that you have, that you possess, right? That have absolutely nothing to do with the external world, absolutely nothing to do with what you engage in outside to appease the outside and find your approval and validation over there. When it's all gone, who are you? When there isn't anybody anymore to tell you that you're right, when there isn't anybody anymore to tell you that they think you're talented, when there isn't anybody anymore to tell you that, I'm gonna give you this promotion, I think you're doing good, I see A, B, and C. What are you saying to yourself? What are you recognizing within yourself? Something to think about, huh? For real. What have you recognized that God has given you, that you've come into this world with as your tool to survive on earth, as your tool to play your part within this universal system? Because we've all come equipped with something to contribute to society, to our world, that gives us our worth in this system and helps make everything work outside of the distractions, outside of the programming, outside of the system-based created jobs, educational systems. There are things that we all are equipped with: speaking, singing, cooking, dancing, talents with, connecting and working with plants, and, there's a lot. Each of us have been equipped with something that gives us our worth, something that we're all really good at, something that we do naturally without even having to think about it, and only get better and become an expert in a way that maybe someone else on the outside isn't able to do. Something that the job world, something that the corporate world, something that, the educational world that is available to human beings to engage in, isn't able to measure. I did, let me go a little personal. Okay. When I first went, started the major part of my awakening, which was, the influence of it all started maybe around COVID time, 2020, right? March is when these big life-changing things started happening. Things that I couldn't plan for, things that just, the universe was like, okay, so this change is coming in now, and, however you take it, you take it. Okay. So, it continued, and the peak of my entire transition happened 2022, early 2022, when things got really rough. Life got really, really rough, and Spirit, Universe, Most High stripped me of everything. Had me learn my lessons. We always say, oh, I'm not attached to the material. The material doesn't make me. And we don't realize how stuck in that illusion we are, and how much of our security we've based on the material, and the how much of our security we've based on our material world, until we're put into a place in life where it gets completely taken away because of whatever circumstances we might find ourselves in. I think for everybody, when they get to that point in their lives of losing everything and having everything taken away from you, and Spirit or God being like, okay, so what now? What are you gonna do? All this other bullshit that you thought gave you security, that you thought would carry you through your life, I'm taking it all away. Now it's gone. What are you gonna do? What have you got within inside you? What have you got within you that's gonna help you maintain yourself, help you build yourself, that you've been given to survive on this earth's surface, that the outside world can't tell you what you're worth, how much you're worth? Because what we've given you, what you've come into this world with, a price can't be put on it, because it's meant to help many. It's meant to connect with the many. It's meant to have its place in whichever society that you place yourself into, or that you're placed into, or that you find your energy and your life and your experiences moving you into. We've given you everything you need. But you're so distracted with the outside world and brainwashed into thinking that your security lies in everything you slave away for on the outside and commit your life to, instead of building who you are inside and recognizing your own self-worth outside of a partnership or a relationship, outside of an institution, a job building, outside of someone who they tell you is, above you because of some programmed label or status or whatever position that, the system has allowed you to put other human beings in your life. What are you going to do now? And, I didn't realize how much fear I had, how much stress I found myself stuck in and not knowing what the fuck to do. Everything I worked for was taken away. Everything that I wrapped my head around, believed this is what I'm, this is my life. I held on to things for dear life. It was all taken away. And God let me throw my tantrum. God let me go through my stress. God let me hit rock bottom completely. And yeah, it was all happening with a whole bunch of other stuff that was just crumbling down in my life, and not knowing. Spiritual awakenings are not easy. There are no breeze in the park for anybody when you're really going through it. And yeah, that was then that I realized, okay, so when I said I'm not a materialistic person, when I said I'm not as attached to the material world, when I had it all available to me, I didn't recognize what it actually meant to not be attached, to be grateful, to recognize myself, who I am and what I am, without needing any kind of, money or material possessions to make me feel like I'm worthy or able to be accepted in the world. And that's when you also recognize exactly who are the real people in your life. Who are you on the same vibration with, of unconsciously hiding behind the material world, and unconsciously stuck in illusions of false security, false self-worth. Because the moment I lost everything, I recognized that there wasn't a single person in my life that I felt comfortable being around. That said a lot. It was just one of the awakenings. There wasn't a single person, a single soul who I thought at some point was most genuine and who would be there for me and who would have my back and who wouldn't be judgmental. Automatically, everything that I thought was for me, in my perspective and in my reality, without them even having to say anything, and recognizing who exactly and what exactly and the shared perspective I had with other people around, I was really existing in. So I had to find over time my own self-worth, my own confidence in a completely different way, and than what I believed was the right way, than what I thought was the way to do it and to build myself and feel like I'm, a part of society. It goes so deep. There's so much to it. But yeah, where And what do you believe? Who do you believe contributes to building up your self-worth that, distracts you from actually recognizing that you don't pay attention completely to who you are and what your own personal internal self-worth is? And what about you have you been equipped with outside of what you've been programmed to believe that you've been equipped with, or programmed to be equipped with something from the outside to make that outside system work? What and who are you once it's all gone? What's left? And how will you swallow when you recognize that you've been programmed to not feel good, to not feel worthy, once you see all of it is gone and what you're left with is just you? I pitied myself for some time. I felt bad that I based all the things I thought I should feel good about on the outside, and recognized what an injustice I did to myself by not actually valuing the things that I have within myself more, and nurturing and working on those things, and giving them the attention that they deserved. I neglected everything because I was so distracted with trying to hold on to everything that I had on the outside that I was programmed to believe gave me my security, gave me my validation, gave me a step ahead in the groups and whoever it is that I existed in, without, and it was all an unconscious thing. It's an unconscious thing we go through. It's an unconscious thing we live. When you recognize how, you judge yourself and how the world is going to judge you for not having all those things that create the outside that the world can see, that you can show, it's hard to swallow, it's hard to deal with. And it's painful, because then you have to make a change and recognize that there's a whole bunch of people and a whole lot of worlds that you existed in that you need to let go of now and reestablish yourself completely and start rebuilding your life on the basis of who you are and what your self-worth is. And over time, once you do that, allow your self-worth to attract and bring in your own inner personal self-worth, to attract and bring in and rebuild and help you get back into something that is completely you and not off of the pressures and the aversions to being excluded by the outside, being excluded by the outside world and judged, right? Because really a lot of that is what motivates us into most of our decisions to go into certain jobs, to not take a job that might pay a bit less but speak to who we are more. Fight and train and indoctrinate ourselves to the point that we, don't even know ourselves anymore, but we'll get into a job or a space of work and society or business that we feel would appease our status and, have us be more received by the outside world. I will get into this topic a little bit more in the future from a different perspective. I know I've spoken for quite a while now, and yeah, it's something to think about, right? So family, I'm gonna pull a card from the Ascendant Masters deck, okay, and see what spirit has to support our conversation or give someone a nudge in a direction that they might need for some support, right? Now please have one card, spirit. As I say, Spirit's always with me. Find the blessings in your current situation. A lot of recognizing your self-worth has to do with us being grateful for who we are, and what we have within first, before we're grateful for the outside. Because if we can value what we have within ourselves, we'll understand and open our minds up to Spirit and ourselves more on how to work with it and make what we are equipped with, whatever part we are for this big machine of society and our world that we fit into. We'll figure out how to make it work and where it fits and where it's, how it's supposed to be used and who it's supposed to affect. But you have to find the blessings in it first, right? And then you'll be able to be grateful and value more and understand, the other things that you bring into your life because of what you've, built off of your own self-worth, your own value. So whatever situation you're in, family, find the blessings in your situation. If it's hard, recognize that it's difficult for a reason. Spirit might be trying to shake you out of something. Spirit might be trying to get you to see something. Spirit might be trying to get you to use something within yourself that you're capable of using to help you get out of whatever situation, or work through a situation, or build on a situation. There are blessings in every single situation, and there are blessings within yourself too. Lots of blessings. Okay, let's see what the book has to say. Okay, I got it. Took a while. So the Ascended Master is Krishna. Okay, and the book says, every situation offers opportunities to grow and learn. When we curse a situation, we block its energy flow. We block its energy flow, and things fester and grow worse. In contrast, as you recognize the blessings within your current situation, supportive and healing energy flows towards you. This card comes to you because there's an unrecognized blessing within your current situation. It could be something that you've learned or gained. For example, recognize the blessings to accelerate the healing and manifestation that's trying to come to you. Additional meanings for this card: instead of worrying, pray and use positive affirmations. Know that everything's in divine and perfect order. This situation is resolving itself perfectly. You heal through the power of gratitude. I must say, at the end of all the struggle and the hardness, some of it I'm still going through right now, but we're still persevering and getting through, and every single day there's always a new lesson. I can tell you today in hindsight, when I was going through it all, it was hard. It was difficult. Oh my goodness, it was difficult. Okay, because there was just so much to deal with at once. But I'm so grateful, because had none of that happened, I would have never been pushed into the place that I needed to go. I would have never been pushed into the path that I wouldn't have recognized my path. I wouldn't have recognized my journey, because everything else, people, all the stuff that I was trying to, maintain or grow or whatever it is, would have been the distraction. I would have been on society's timeline, on society's projection of what my life path is supposed to be, instead of what my actual life path is. And being stripped of life and everything, people, places, things, completely, is what opened up the path for me, because there was no other option but to follow my heart, but to follow my soul, but to recognize what I possess within myself, to move forward and not look for what the outside world had to offer. It's something to think about. Anyway, family, I'll see you in the next video. If this resonated, if you got this far, I do ask you to please hit the like button, share, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.